everybody? I'm fired up tonight. I'm fired up on a Wednesday night. You only see two faces here. Big D is here. He's fired up. Big G is a big corporate guy. He's into corporate dinner. He's gonna,
Corporate greed.
yeah, that's just him. So he's gonna jump on here, immunity, when he gets finished eating, and he's going to we'll get back to all three of us in here at the same time. But we're fired up. Let me tell you why I'm fired up, Dalton, and everybody listening,
Tell me.
because it is playoff time. And I know not necessarily for the FBS, but we're obviously high school football has been playoffing it for a couple weeks now. That's always fun.
Mm-hmm.
But this week starts playoffs for Division Two, Division Three, and I think NAIA. So we're in playoff time this weekend. After this weekend, FCS selection show happens, and then we have FCS playoffs starting Thanksgiving weekend. Then the weekend after that, well, actually, it's 2 weekends after that, we'll have the selection show for the CFP, with conference championships, sandwiched in the middle. So that's why I'm fired up. One of the reasons I'm fired up for every weekend of football, every weekend, especially when there's Maction going on. We have Maction times two going on right now. We had a game, had Maction yesterday. We've got a game tomorrow. We've got two on Friday, and then a full slate on Saturday, and we're going to get to it. Dalton, what's going on, man? Well, actually, no, Dalton. Hold up. I got one
Mm.
thing before. I
Uh-oh.
want everybody to check out this shirt right here. You see that? It says Big South Champions right there. You know what the significance of this shirt is? I'm taking a little trip this weekend to Kennesaw, Georgia, baby. Big South champs. I believe we did it twice when I was a player. They did it one time after I left. Man,
Yep.
man, I'll be back in the beautiful Kennesaw, Georgia, heading that way Friday morning ish, and we'll be there through Sunday to watch them play Missouri State, the Bears, and need to win out to get to the Conference USA Championship game. Huge game for them.
Yep.
So I'm excited about it.
Yep.
So I'm fired up, man. I'm fired up. We're gonna be down in Kennesaw, Georgia, buddy, and I'm gonna be. I was there for 7 years, man. Undergrad and postgrad. I was there just too long. Can never be there too long. Dalton, what's up, dog?
Just loving life right now.
Mm.
Excited for this weekend. I'm glad you brought up high school football. I actually watched a high school playoff game last Friday. Watched Daphne and Auburn high school play.
And what was the score?
At halftime or the end of the game? Because it was 30-0 at halftime.
I know Auburn shut them out.
What was up? Yeah. I think it was 37-0 at the end?
Something like that.
Something
Yeah,
like that.
close to 40.
Yeah, it's the first high school game I've watched in a while.
Yeah.
But back to college, I looked through D2, the playoff selection.
Yep.
UWA missed it. They went, 7-0, 6-0?
Yep.
Heck, no, they went 5-0 and then lost 4 straight.
Just like when y'all were there.
Legitimately except we won 1 in our last 5. But
right.
Regardless.
But you started off hot as could be and then finished about as bad as you could finish.
Exactly. They just win. They win the last game against, I think it was Northeastern State, maybe. They probably get in. That's upsetting. But we got some great matchups this weekend. Some scary ones for some teams.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm ready to get into the CFP rankings a little bit. Talk about the flub in there. But really everything. It's great.
Yeah.
It's another week.
Another week.
We're back.
And it's always fun, and we're back. And we're gonna freaking get down to the nitty gritty. And then before we get to that, I got 2 things before we get down to the nitty gritty here. First thing, while I'm in Kennesaw, Georgia, in the beautiful Kennesaw, Georgia, there will be a bonus episode of some kind. Do do you know what's going to be on there? No, you don't. But you'll find out whenever it's posted over the weekend. So be on the lookout for an extra episode coming out the weekend. You'll get it Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, whatever. But you'll get one while I'm in Kennesaw. I'm trying to figure out what I want the backdrop to be. Where am I going to be? I don't know yet. But get ready because it's going to be epic. It's going to be phenomenal. All right, because I'm going to be in the beautiful KSU. All right. Next thing, we talked about some playoffs in the high school. Pisgah High School here in Haywood County still rolling. They play a big game this weekend on Friday to obviously survive in advance or lose and go home. All right. Now, we're on the topic of playoffs. Before we get into the CFP, I'm going to talk about a few teams in the D2 and D3 fields that we need to talk about who are in there, who is kind of important, at least for me. All right. So we're going to start with Division 3. The Berry College Vikings got a first round bye in the playoffs. Huge for the freaking Berry College Vikings, son. Went 9-1, lost to a team in Pittsburgh. I'm blanking on the name. That was early in the season, and they ran the table after that. Beat Trinity, who had beaten them past few years to win the conference. Now Berry won it. They got a bye. Here is the surprise, though, in Division 3. In our region, D, you'll know them. LaGrange College in the field. I think they're 9-1, 8-2, something like that.
Okay.
I think they probably won. What is it? The USA South they play in? I think they won that. They're playing Framingham State.
Oof.
I don't know who that is, honestly. I should have done more research. But that's great for LaGrange, man. When I was at Berry, we played LaGrange. Berry was in a down year that year. We went 6-4, and we still beat LaGrange fairly handily. We kind of finished the game bad, and they tried to come back and beat us. They kicked an onside kick on us, Dalton, and I'm the kick return coach, and so I've got the hands team too. So the hands team's out there, and they kick a bullet to this dude. He got one of the surest set of hands on the team, and they kick a bullet. It just and it bounces off his chest about straight up in the air. And guess what? The LaGrange Panthers got the ball, and I don't know how it didn't get fired on the spot. So anyway, good for LaGrange. Not for that onside kick. I hate that, but I'm glad they're in the playoffs. And Barry's got to bye. They'll play somebody, next weekend. We'll find out who that is after the weekend's over. Division 2, man. Division 2. Two of my boys are in the playoffs in D2, man. That I know for sure. We've been talking about this crew all year. Newberry wins the SAC. They're in there. They're playing Kentucky State.
Mm-hmm.
Once upon a time, Kentucky State was running the triple option, folks. They weren't as good back then. I don't know what they're running now, but they are rolling. They're 8-2, 9-1, 9-2, something like that. And Kentucky State hadn't been in the playoffs very often in their history. But Newberry's in there. Coach Cole Watson is the offensive coordinator. They're in the playoffs, babe. Here's the next one. I hadn't really given this team a whole lot of light. I've been watching them. Findlay, up in Ohio. My man right here, Anthony Gore.
Oh,
Anthony Gore is coaching. Anthony Gore Jr., excuse me, is coaching at Findlay up in Ohio. And they're undefeated. They're 10-0 or 11-0 or something.
Oh, dang.
Those dudes have been rolling. They were pretty good last year, but I think they're undefeated this year. And they play Minnesota State. I believe they got a home game. I think Newberry and Findlay have home games. So I want to see the boys succeed. Let's make a run at the thing, right? Let's make a run. Now, here are a couple Gulf South teams, Dalton. I don't know if you saw this.
Oh, I did.
Valdosta
SEC.
State Valdosta State, oh yeah, goes and beats West Florida this past weekend in overtime or on a
Yeah.
game-winning field goal or something, and wins the Gulf South when they beat West Florida. So Valdosta State got the automatic bid in, and then West Florida got into that large. They were, 10-1 or whatever they were. That was their only
Yeah.
loss.
Yeah.
So Valdosta State is in the playoffs, uh, and they're dangerous. Speaking of Valdosta State, another one of a guy who I coached with. I mean, I was a GA, but technically coached with. He was our linebackers coach at the time. Became at Kennesaw State. Became the DC when I left. Coach Greg Harris, a phenomenal dude, great guy. He coached linebackers with us. Dalton, remember when we played North Greenville my junior year, and we almost lost to them?
Yes, I do.
Had a game-winning drive, and we scored with like less than a minute left. He was the defensive coordinator at North Greenville that year,
Oh
and then
wow.
when I became a GA, we hired him as a linebackers coach.
Hmm.
He's now the DC at Valdosta State, and he's gotten the boys in the playoffs, and they're playing Albany State. They're going to have to drive like 15 minutes to their
Yeah.
playoff game.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both in South Georgia, right down the road from each other, which is pretty nice. Albany State's just been rolling. And then the last one, you've got North Greenville at West Florida. Can West Florida bounce back from the loss and make a run like they do about every year in the playoffs?
Yep.
So I just love college football. I don't care what level it is. It's just great. It's all good, especially when I know some of the guys there. It's fun, man. Now, we'll get to the FCS slate here in just a minute. Okay. But Dalton, we're going to jump into the CFP since we're talking about playoff pictures and whatnot.
Okay.
Tell me what's your first, the biggest thing from the CFP rankings that you're saying either I'm all in on it or I'm all out on it.
I mean, now I'm more bought into A&M being 3 after they go down to South Carolina big. Granted, they came back and won it, and as an A&M fan, that game should both scare you and make you feel pretty good
Yeah.
because they definitely showed some, like, they looked horrible in the first half. Showed a lot of weakness. Marcel Reed looked like a completely different guy.
I mean, I don't even think he was that bad last year.
No,
It
no.
was, he, it
Maybe when
was
I don't know. I don't know. But then they were able to regroup at halftime and make a comeback in the second half. I mean, the flip from the first half to the second half on both sides for South Carolina and A&M, never seen it before in one game. Never seen it before. I mean, South Carolina's offensive and defensive line in the first half were handling A&M's O line and D line like South Carolina was ranked number 3 in the country.
hmm hmm
And then the second half, South Carolina's offensive line, true offensive line, came out to show, especially
they just
later in the fourth quarter.
yeah. I mean, Marcel Reed, some of the throws that he was missing in that first half. I
So
mean,
bad,
it
so
was it
bad.
was very very bad.
Yeah,
But that's the thing. Like we've said it all season. Although of how bad it looked, I don't know if a good teams look that bad yet. But to be able to come back in the second half, there's something to be said for that. In the Indiana,
yeah.
Penn State, Texas A&M, South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
I mean Alabama and I mean Vandy was good. Missouri had to come back.
Oh,
South Carolina, Alabama, South
oh yeah, South
Carolina.
Carolina. Yeah,
Yeah. So I mean, you've got to give teams credit when they do that, but it also kind of scares the piss out of you because of how quick it can
how bad
turn the
they.
other way.
Right, right. Because if you
You know.
if A&M does that against anybody else the rest of the year, like Texas or in the SEC championship or playoffs, the game is over. They're
You do it
not
against
coming back from
Texas.
30
If
to
you do
3.
it against Texas, then you're going to lose the game.
Yeah,
And that's not a
Anyway,
playoff game. You're still in, but
right.
yes, I'm with you 100%.
Anyway,
I'm with you. Yeah.
to get back on the CFP,
Yeah.
Alabama being behind Notre Dame is insane to me. And I didn't watch the whole show. Did they say that Notre Dame was put in front of Bama because they're able to run the ball? I heard somebody say that. Not sure.
Well, when they asked about Notre Dame, it was about the Notre Dame Miami head to head. So I think they were talking about that against Miami.
Okay. Well, there must have been a comment about Notre Dame being ahead because of their run game being better than Alabama's. And if that's true, if not, I'm going to talk about it anyway. On the flip side, couldn't you say, well, Alabama's pass game is better than Notre Dame's? And say, well, then they should be in front? Here's the thing. I said this earlier today. I wish that we had a group of 12 people who knew how to pick by the rules really well, but didn't know jack about football. Then you just number the teams, every team from 1 to, say, 40. You give them this is team A, team B. You put their record, you put their schedule, who they played from 1 to 40. And then if you were to do it that way, I mean, it would be a lot different, I think. If they really went by your record, strength of schedule, head to head, whatever the other two things are. But most of the time, it doesn't even get past strength of schedule. It's like Notre Dame's strength of schedule is not higher than Alabama, so they should not be in front of Alabama. Or Oklahoma over Oregon is the same. Well, I mean, their record's different, but
Well, I think the argument to that, I'm not disagreeing with you. The argument to that, I believe the guy did say this, Juracek, is that Notre Dame's losses were to top 13 teams. Alabama's were to, the first loss was bad, right? First loss was bad because of Florida State and their way out. So I think that's part of it also. But then the confusing part is that for some tiers, they say they put them into tiers when they kind of compare them. In some tiers, it's like it's just eye test. If there's no head to head, they just go eye test basically.
yep.
But if there is head to head, they'll honor that head to head most of the time. Here's what and maybe you know what, because I've been thinking about this a lot with Miami. They inch up Miami more than anybody else every week. Ever since that loss to
SMU.
Who?
SMU.
SMU, yes, SMU. Ever since that loss to SMU, they've inched them up. Like what they've done is when a team loses, they usually just bump the team up one behind them, right? They bump them up for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Miami has been jumping a team or two every week because they were at like 17 or 16 or something. They're up to 13 now,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, they are steady making their way up. Jumped Georgia Tech last week. Now, Georgia Tech looked like hot garbage versus Boston College. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but they still won.
I know they still won. In Miami, and I might be predicting here because I don't want to do that because you're not supposed to. We're ranking them for right now. But I just still don't trust Miami to go win the games they have left. They have Pitt left.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't remember who they have this week. It's not a powerhouse, but buddy, I don't trust them.
They have Syracuse, I think. No,
Syracuse.
Virginia Tech. Sorry.
Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
And Miami's got to go on the road.
Yes. Twice.
Miami's not been
2 games in
Miami's
a row.
they not been good on the road.
Mm-mm.
I think if you go back and look at their losses, both of them road games.
They lost at home to Louisville.
Louisville's at home. SMU was in
SMU
Dallas, right?
Yeah.
And Virginia Tech is going to be better at home. They got a pretty rowdy crowd, you know.
And they got the whole James Franklin thing behind them now. Like they've got something to play for a little bit here.
The boys who were sticking around are saying, I need to show old Jamesy, old JF,
JL.
I can play, brother.
Yeah.
You know, Jay Frank, some people like to call him.
Mm-hmm.
But Miami, when I saw them put in the rankings, I thought, man, they just keep moving Miami up, up, up. They're kind of doing the same thing with USC a little bit. Now, USC's had a couple good wins in a row, so I understand that a little bit more.
Yeah.
Miami ain't beaten, like NC State. You can say that Miami dominated, and they did, but NC State looked like trash. They did not look like the same team that played Georgia Tech to me.
Yeah.
They did not. And I tell you what else bothers me. I know it's just something that they have to do because it's a graphic, but they keep putting Miami in the ACC championship spot.
Yes.
That's not going to happen, right?
I said the same thing.
It's misleading. It's
Yes,
not going to
it
happen.
is. It is. I noticed that, and I'm like, how are they
it's
going to
not.
be in that spot if they don't even control their destiny to get there? I mean, who does
It's
Virginia
because
have?
it's
And Georgia Tech's got they got Pitt this week. Okay, now I get
Pitt
it.
and then Georgia.
Yes, they have one ACC game left. Miami has
But
two.
here's the thing: if Georgia Tech loses that game, Miami's still not the team that goes in there. It's going to be like Louisville
Yeah,
or
yeah,
somebody else, SMU. I don't know.
yeah,
I mean, Miami is down the line. So to
yeah.
say, and I don't know if I mean they had to do it for the graphic. I get that. I totally understand.
Also,
But
SMU is in
it
there. Go ahead.
yeah, and so it bothers me because it's like they're trying to say, hey, don't worry, we'll move Miami up enough to get them in an at-large. And they're probably not saying that, but that's what it seems like to me. Miami's got to have a lot to help them get an ACC championship. They're going to have a lot to help them get in at-large.
Yeah,
They don't have anything guaranteed right now, but they're in that bracket. Everybody's talking about how Miami is going to get in at-large. I don't see it. I don't see it. Go
they
go
can't.
beat Pitt. Go beat Pitt the last weekend, and then I might say, okay, fine.
Well,
You might.
the thing is, if they don't make the ACC championship game, how are you going to give them an at-large bid, but not the team who lost the ACC championship? Because as it stands right now, it's looking like Georgia Tech and Virginia. Georgia Tech 9-1, Virginia's 9-2, Miami's 8-2. All right. Say everybody
Mm-hmm.
wins out. You got GT and Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Miami will be 10-2 at that point. How are they going to? They cannot get in over. Say Virginia loses and goes 10-3. They lose the championship game. Go 10-3. Are you going to jump Miami over Virginia? Because you didn't do
Well,
it last year.
here's what is here's the biggest thing in my mind. So you have Alabama, BYU, and Utah in front of you, right?
Yeah.
So for at large, if none of those teams lose, what's going to be your grounds for jumping those teams, right?
You can't do it.
Well, that's
Can't.
what I'm saying. But everybody's talking like Miami's just in as at large.
It's
They're
crazy.
not.
And I told Griffin this past weekend. I said, I don't think Miami's going to get in. It's going to suck because the way Miami looked at the beginning of the year, like I think they have potential to shake the playoff race up if they were to get in, but they haven't done enough this year to get in. And if they get in, if everybody else wins out and they get in, if they jump to get in, it's gonna. I've lost all faith. Now, if
Yeah.
you throw Notre Dame behind them, then I'll say, okay, now we're talking. But
Dalton.
anybody other than that, they're not going to do it because they've already handcuffed themselves on it. But
Well, yeah, you know how they handcuffed them is they went and put Alabama below them.
yeah,
So they're basically saying, hey, we're getting Notre Dame off that cut line,
Yep.
so that way we can and listen, this is like conspiracy theory what I'm talking about. So please take this with a grain of salt. But they're trying just get Notre Dame off of that cut line. Hey, let's get Notre Dame a little farther in there. And I hate saying that, and I shouldn't say it because that's freaking garbage of me to say. But it seems like they keep moving Notre Dame up, they keep moving Miami up, and so many people keep talking about how Miami is just basically in. They're just they're just not. Hey, I'm about to let your boy in right here. G,
What's up?
perfect
That air
timing, son.
conditioner is so loud.
Is it really?
Not really, but it's kind of loud.
Yeah, I'll turn it off.
Yeah, burn up.
G's been at the big corporate dinner, folks, so he's finally joined us.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
G, what's up, man? Tell us what's good. What you had to eat, brother?
The train wreck. It's two beef fillets, um, medium rare, two fried green tomatoes, a fried egg, some pimento cheese grits, and some Kaneka crab sauce on top of it. Oh, and a
Jay,
piece of pork
you
belly.
G must be getting some payment from this podcast, and I ain't seen a lick of it.
Yeah, I mean, are they
Put it
paying
on
you under the table?
the old corporate card. So
Yeah. Yeah, have the old corporate pay. I'd do the same thing. I'd run it up, baby. I'd run it up.
No doubt.
we
I
did.
bet you
No
got
doubt.
dessert too, you rascal.
No, I did not. We went there last night and I got a piece of peanut butter pie, but golly, it made me feel so bad. So, well, it was really good. It just made me feel like a sloppy guy. So,
You're probably just ordering cocktails and leaving them on the table just because there's the money to spend.
might as
Money to
well.
blow.
Might as
Not even
well.
drinking them.
Well, I'm hungry right now, so if that makes you feel any better.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Griff, we're talking CFP right now, so you hadn't
Yeah,
really
I'm
missed a
glad y'all
ton.
hadn't gotten through.
But here we're no. So we've been talking about Miami, been talking about Notre Dame. All right, what are your thoughts on the CFPG?
Um, I feel like I've exhausted the Miami and Notre Dame point. The last two times we've talked about this because I talk about the same thing every time.
And we just did too.
Okay.
Yeah, we just
Um,
fleshed it out for a
So
while.
it's just and with the explanation of they group teams into like three or four and then compare those and then move to like that makes no sense to me. But I feel like now hearing that it's going to work out to where Miami and Notre Dame are both going to win out and they're both just going to happen to be in the same grouping on the last one and they're going to move Miami ahead. So that really doesn't make any sense because you lead on Notre Dame the entire time and you just jump Miami ahead, which I feel like is probably going to happen. Um, my question is you got Georgia Tech, who is what 3 spots behind Miami. They'll probably get beat by Georgia. I think they'll get beat by Georgia. But if they beat Pitt this weekend, they go to the ACC championship and they play probably Virginia, who's at number 19. Both of those teams will be 10-2, and if Virginia beats Virginia Tech, and whoever wins will be 11-2. The loser will be 10-3. So at that point, if Miami is 10-2 and they're ahead of Notre
Yes.
Dame, and they're trying to get both of them in the playoffs, you have to put the ACC champion in. But then I feel like you have to put the ACC runner-up in too, because you're basically penalizing that team for being 10-3, but playing in the ACC championship. And y'all may have already said that, I don't know, but I just think
Well,
that I'm not saying that they will. I'm just saying that if you want to keep the integrity of head-to-head matchups, you can't put Notre Dame ahead of Miami if they're both 10-2. And if you want to keep the integrity of conference championships and it meaning something to play in them at least, I feel like unless it's like somebody like Duke that made it in with at 8-4, but if they have the same record as Miami moving into the conference championship, they lose it. They should be penalized for that because then it just kind of I don't know. The ACC is the main one. And another thing that I saw is people upset about Alabama being behind Notre Dame, and I don't get why they're upset because this has been going on the entire time. They've been doing the same thing the entire time with Notre Dame and Miami. They're going to move Notre Dame up as far as they possibly can so that they make sure they get in the playoffs. I think.
Well, are you saying you don't know why they're upset because it's already happened, or you saying you
Uh,
agree with Notre Dame being in front of
I
Bama?
don't agree with Notre Dame being ahead of them, but it's like people are just now seeing that the committee's going to try to get Notre Dame up ahead as far as possible. I think that Alabama should be. I think they should swap Notre Dame and Alabama. Um, but again, with the Notre Dame Miami thing, you see all these teams that have played head-to-head matchups that are one is just right in front of the other that won. Also, how is Texas at number 17? That's ridiculous.
They have to drop out of
It's
FBS to get out of the CFP.
Yeah.
They will have to become an FCS team to get out of
Yeah.
the top 25.
yeah, you're
And
not
then
wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, Texas is too high still.
Way too high. I don't even know if they should be ranked.
Tennessee went up three, and I get
Hmm.
it. I mean that like everybody from 20 to 25 lost except for somebody. I don't know who it was.
Missouri.
But where's James Madison?
Where's James Madison?
Yeah, I don't know,
Yeah, they
man.
needed
Where's
him,
North
man.
Texas?
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
Where's
Yeah, I
North
mean,
Texas? I mean, gosh, I feel like North Texas is the. I don't know. I mean, I guess Tulane is it's Navy, Tulane, North Texas, and East Carolina
yeah,
at the top, all with one loss in the AAC.
Yeah. But
yeah,
for
It's going to
like
be interesting.
for playoff purposes,
But
I
see,
mean,
North Texas wins out. They're in because they beat Navy.
yeah. But
Um,
like if
right. I mean,
J
North Texas is basically a shoe in.
they have a
mhm.
bun schedule
Yeah,
loading
Wow.
up. So
yeah, yeah, they do.
there's Tulane.
And
Temple does.
so
Well, I mean, Tulane does too.
yeah, and Navy's got to play Memphis still. They play Memphis not this weekend, but next weekend. So I mean,
Yeah,
it's probably looking like North Texas and Tulane, and then obviously whoever wins that gets the auto bid probably. But then
Yeah.
James Madison's sitting there, so you got to think about that. Now Griffin, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Listen, I want you to say what you sent to us in our group text message whenever it was early in the week or into last week or whatever about the group of five playoff spot.
Oh. Um,
mm.
the one about guarantees,
Oh, yes, sir.
that one. The way that the playoff and conferences are structured right now, the Power Four is not guaranteed a spot in the playoffs. Just in principle. Now it'll never happen that way, but the Group of Five is guaranteed at least one spot in the playoffs as it sits right now. The Power Four has no guarantees at all. Which I thought I
Right,
was sitting there thinking about it, and
right.
I was like, that is very
Yes.
interesting. Because if you had a
Say that you're exactly right, Griff.
yeah, I mean, if you had the Mountain West, Sun Belt, American, MAC, and Conference USA, who had several close to
You're
undefeated
breaking up a
teams.
good bit, G.
Am I?
Yeah, yeah, Griff, you're breaking up a little bit. Um, you're breaking up a little bit. Actually,
All
a
right.
lot of it.
Yeah, I do want to clarify something you said, Jake. Navy and Memphis actually play Thanksgiving night.
Oh, yes, yes, that's right. That's right.
Yeah,
Sure do.
because that's
And
going to
and
be
so
awesome.
kind of yes. And so what Griffin's talking about, and Griff, make sure your deal's charged up too. Looks like you may be a little low on charge.
Yeah,
But
it's on the charger right now.
also what okay, and with what Griffin was talking about, is probably what he was explaining here when it was breaking up a little, is say a conference, a Power Four conference, is like the ACC is this year. They all beat up on each other, but you don't have a Georgia Tech or Miami there that everybody thinks is going to make the playoff for sure, right? Say you don't have those one-loss teams. Everybody's two-loss or more. Everybody beats up on each other. That Power Four conference does not have a guaranteed spot in the playoff. But think about this. If all the Group of Five conferences were like the MAC, y'all seen the MAC standings, right? Everybody's
They
5-5, 6-4,
Yep.
because in their non-conference they go and play SEC, Big Ten teams,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? And they're just outmatched. If every Group of Five conference is like that, and say the best Group of Five team has got 3 losses, the highest ranked Group of Five, they're guaranteed in.
Can you hear me,
Jake
G?
is frozen.
But
G,
a
can you hear me?
Power Four
Yeah, I can hear you.
conference
Can you hear me?
who's got
Yeah.
you know
Yeah. So
2
just
losses a
continuing on
pop,
what Jake is
everybody's
saying,
got
he's
2 losses a
saying that
pop,
if
and
the
nobody's ranked.
G5, you have people like the MAC where
For
it's
example,
top is
like
like
25 is the highest
7-4
one of
all
them's
the way.
ranked.
That's the best overall
They
record
are not guaranteed a team
right
in.
now. You have a team
That's
like
such
that
that's
win,
such
and say
an
every
interesting thing
G5
to talk
conference
about.
is similar to that. So say 3 losses or more for everybody, then they're going to get at least one team in.
Yeah.
Regardless of record.
Mm-hmm.
And then Power 4 is not guaranteed that spot. And I think that's the way it should be. I think the Power 4 should not have a guaranteed spot. I think the G5 should not have a guaranteed spot.
I think so too. Yeah, and like I said, it would never happen. They would never leave a Power Four team out, but like in theory, it could happen the way that it's structured right now, and the way that the conferences are structured right now. Which I think was pretty interesting. But
Yeah,
Very,
totally agree.
very. It is super interesting.
Let's have y'all talked about, or have y'all thought about SEC championship possible matchups
Yep.
and who gets in based on what?
not as much
There are so many.
Like tiebreakers.
until I found out that even if Alabama wins the Iron Bowl, they're still not guaranteed the spot. But I think
Um,
they would get it
I
based on
think
tiebreakers.
they are. No. Um, yes, I think they are. Because then it would go to common opponent, and Bama beat Georgia. Ole Miss lost to Georgia. I think Bama, as long as they win the Iron Bowl, I think they're in, if I'm not mistaken. Now if they, if A&M loses, then you have a 4-way tie for first. Then you have to go common opponent between all of them, and there's not one team that everybody played this year.
Yeah.
Of course.
So then I think it goes to scoring margin, like season, like conference schedule or scoring margin. No, I'll tell you what it goes to. It goes to the record/win percentage of the conference opponents that you played overall.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in order it would go Bama first, Georgia, then Ole Miss, then A&M. Surprisingly enough, out of those 4, A&M has the worst, or A&M's conference opponents have the worst combined record.
Well, yeah. You
So
know what? I kept seeing on Twitter and some whatever TikToks or whatever that the SEC teams that Texas A&M has played, all the bottom 7 teams
hmm
in the SEC.
yeah,
Actually, all bottom 7 Texas A&M's played. Texas will be the only one.
Auburn, Mississippi State, Florida, Arkansas, LSU, Missouri
Missouri is this top in there, but it's
is
still
the top of
the
that.
bottom
Okay,
7.
South Carolina, and then Texas is probably number 3 based on CFP rankings.
they're number
Texas will
5.
be the only one in the SEC who's
Yeah.
in the top half.
Yeah,
They're number 5 in the standings right now. But I think and I know we'll talk about it next week. But that Texas A&M Texas game, once again, Texas A&M is playing for a spot in the conference championship this year. They were last year. If they would have won it, they'd have been in, and this year's the same way. Or win or lose, they are in or out respectively. So
Right. Yes.
yeah. Now that's as long as Georgia, Ole Miss, and Bama all win their
true. Yeah.
SEC games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I
Right.
think they should. I will
Well,
say this though.
Georgia's done with their SEC games.
Yeah, they're done.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
So I guess yeah.
So as long as Ole Miss and Bama both win, then A&M would be out. But this Iron Bowl is shaking up to be very decisive for the old Crimson Tide.
And it's at night
Auburn too.
It is a perfect storm for the Auburn Tigers to
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100% it
ruin
is.
Bama season.
Yeah.
See, I don't
Listen,
know.
here's the thing about those kind of games. If you're going to be dominant, just go in and dominate, right? Don't worry about all the circumstances. You just
Mm-hmm.
go play ball, Now, the teams who are good can handle it. The teams that aren't as good, they can't. So we'll see. We'll find out about Alabama in Jordan Hare on November 29th or whatever it is at
Yeah.
6:30 p.m.
And I want to
Central
shout out
Time.
Carter on Spotify for commenting, bringing up the Auburn and Bama game. How this is a huge matchup for, really both of them. For Auburn, just pretty much just pride and can we salvage the season just a little bit. And for
Yep.
Bama to get into the playoffs, Carter, we don't know who you are. We need your full name. We're in between
Carter.
some folks right now.
Carter,
We've got
who are you? Who are you? Tell us who you are. Because we're going between people, we don't know who you are, but we need to know. You commented twice now, and I want to see it. I wanted to keep on going, man. Carter, who are you? And tell us who you are so we can give you a little shout, a little love, man.
Is Carter just going to be the faceless commenter
I'm all
for the
for it.
lifetime of this
Hey,
podcast?
it sounds great, man, but I want to know. We want to be able to say, "Hey, Carter, I know you, and we're gonna love on you." Just saying.
Great comment. Great comment.
Yeah, it was great. Very good. There's Dalton's comment of the week. Okay, we're gonna do these all throughout the show here. Um,
Have you done
to
yours
kind of
yet?
give it. Have not yet. Have not. That was the
Okay.
first one of the day.
Okay.
We'll get to yours here shortly, brother. Yep. Listen. All right. One more thing on the CFP, and we're gonna move on. Oregon plays USC. If Oregon loses, how far does Oregon drop, and how far up does USC go?
I think USC is in, and I think Oregon. I think USC is right at the cut line. I think Oregon is out.
Listen, I don't. Sorry, Griff. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think now it's gonna depend on, I think BYU and Utah. If BYU loses, I think Oklahoma. I think Oregon jumps back to that 11 spot maybe, and Oklahoma, Notre Dame, Alabama move up one, and USC jumps in to that 10 spot or somewhere around that. I don't know. I don't think Oregon's out at 10-2. I think they're still in at 10-2.
Well,
I know. I get it. I'm just telling you. I think that's what they're probably going to do.
yeah. Here's my question. All right. None of these teams in the top 10 play each other anymore,
Right.
unless it's conference championships.
Mm-hmm.
My question is this, and we talked about this with Miami, Griff, because they keep moving Miami up higher, like multiple spots a week, playing nobody. If Oregon loses and USC wins, like if the teams in the top 10, top 12 win out anyway, where the heck does USC go?
I know.
Where does
That's
Miami
a good
go?
point.
Like there's nowhere unless you just knock people out because they didn't beat Oregon last week.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to say USC's playing for a spot in the playoff.
Yeah.
And part of me thinks they are, but the other part is it's so lock jammed up there and nobody plays each other. If everybody wins out, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, and here's another thing is you have Utah at 12. So say USC does beat Oregon, say Utah wins, say BYU wins this weekend. What you move Oregon back behind you, like Utah and BYU and Texas Tech are all in the top 12. So if they keep winning throughout the regular season, they're not going to go anywhere except up. So you're looking at 3 Big 12 teams being in the top 12 at the end of this thing. At least in the top 12. I guess that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be in, but I mean, I feel like the committee has done a fairly poor job of ranking these teams leading up to this, to where they're really going to have to contradict themselves a lot. And I feel like they've led several teams on that they're not going to put in later on. And maybe it all works itself out to where, um, you know, teams lose that, shouldn't really be up there anyways. But I have a hard time seeing it. I think Utah wins out, and so where do they go is
Yeah. I mean,
going to be interesting.
yeah, it'll be very interesting to see. I mean, we could, and the other thing is, I'm saying it right now is, you say these other teams are going to win out. We don't know that. I mean,
No,
we
they
think they
don't.
will. We don't
I'm
know
just, I'm
that.
just going
I
based
don't
off
know
what I
that.
think is going to happen.
Yeah, well, exactly. I'm doing the same thing. I mean, like I think these teams are going to win out, but I don't know.
Hmm.
And so it's easy to say, well, there's no room. There may be more room than we think.
Yeah.
There may be 5 teams losing there for whatever. So,
Hmm.
who knows, right?
Yeah.
Who knows? So anyway, that's super intriguing.
Hmm.
Quickly, James Franklin at Virginia Tech. How do you feel about it?
Love it.
Love it. I
Great
think I
hire
think
by
that was a
Virginia Tech.
slam dunk for Virginia Tech. Really, really
I do too.
nicely done, and
And
I
Jake,
do
made
too.
quick work of it too. Great job.
yeah, Jake, you said it Sunday in your recap talking about James Franklin was at Vandy, then at Penn State. So from Tennessee to Pennsylvania, I'm sure he knows everybody, every high school. So recruiting wise, he's sitting
Sweet
right
spot, right in
slap
his
dab in the
sweet
middle
spot.
of it almost.
That's a good point.
I think it's a great hire though.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't think they couldn't have gotten anybody better. I think he's going to do really well too.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if they aren't top three in the ACC. I'd be surprised if they don't make the ACC championship game in the next 2 years.
Here's a question that I don't know if you've heard or not that was really interesting. Who do you think wins the ACC for the first time first? Virginia Tech with James Franklin or Miami? Because Miami's never won the ACC. I don't think Virginia Tech has either.
I think Virginia Tech, because I've watched Miami the last 2 years have the best opportunity to do it,
And screw it up.
and they lose down the stretch to just barely knock themselves out of it. I think
Yeah.
if Virginia Tech can get James Franklin, I think he can. I think he can
Hmm.
legitimately do it.
Yeah. And I
I
wouldn't be
saw. I
surprised.
saw.
Go ahead, Jake.
You go ahead.
Uh, I was just about to say, I saw where Penn State has had 17 decommitments since James Franklin got fired. So I would not
Yep.
be surprised if several of them went down to Blacksburg.
Yeah,
I think you're spot on with that. And um, well, I forgot what I was gonna say, but I think you're spot on with that. I mean, I think. Oh, I saw somebody else on the TikTok. I don't know who the guy was talking about how Virginia Tech hired the guy nobody else wants, the guy who had a 4-21 record versus top 10, all this other BS. Y'all can't hear me, can you?
I don't know if you
Man, oh
caught
man.
that first part. I think he was saying something about top
seemed
10.
like
Probably talking about top
seemed like
10 record or something like that,
yeah, which is
which
just
we talked about
ridiculous. I
last week
mean,
is
what is Virginia Tech's record against top 10 or top 25 opponents without James Franklin?
probably not good.
Probably ain't that good.
Probably not very
So,
good. Yeah, that's very true.
and we're back.
Folks, we're having some technical difficulties. I'm getting pretty pissed, okay? But we're gonna just fight through it. So sorry about the BS that you're having to probably listen through, a bunch of static mess and people leaving, coming back, whatever. And it just happened again.
Yeah. But yeah, I think slam dunk hire couldn't have done better.
Yep.
I'm
Really.
excited about it too.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm
Excited
ready
to
to
watch
watch
him.
him. Ready to watch him. Let's see. I don't know what's
So we got conference races was up next on the slate.
okay.
Um, and we talked a little bit about that anyway when we talked about the CFP
Hmm.
rankings and how it can get shaken up based on who wins. I was just
Yeah.
leading into the conference races some, but we've talked a little bit about that. Talking about the CFP rankings and all that. Really, ACC, AAC,
Mm-hmm.
SEC.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, and because they're kind of combined, so we've already kind of hit that.
Yeah.
All right. Now, hopefully, I don't freaking lose you again, but I'm going to jump into these FCS games for this weekend. This is one of the big rivalry weekend for the FCS, last weekend of the season for them. All right. And I thought it'd be a lot of fun. I'm going to go through the games that I think are big games that are going to kind of decide the conference champions in those conferences in the FCS. Griff, we already talked about D2 and D3 playoffs at the beginning, and now we're going to talk about FCS. So we have two games on Thursday night. I know we got weekday games. We'll get into those for the FBS here in a second. We've got for the FCS Thursday night two Southland Conference games. We've got Nichols at Southeastern Louisiana. All right. Southeastern Louisiana is probably an at-large playoff team if they win. And Nichols has not been, they started off decent. Their defense is pretty good, but they are not good offensively. Southeastern Louisiana should dominate. You've also got Stephen F. Austin at Northwestern State. Stephen F. Austin has been dominant. Northwestern State has been the opposite. I think Stephen F. Austin's already clinched the Southland. So they're playing they might get a bye in the first round, which is a top 8 seed in the nation. All right, so those are your Thursday night games. And then we get into Saturday. There's no Friday games in FCS, just 2 Thursday and then Saturday. And here's one interesting thing about the FCS this week. If I saw it correctly, the latest game start time for FCS games this weekend, this Saturday, is 5 p.m.
Dang.
Wow. That's
Imagine that,
jam-packed.
boys. That's pretty freaking nice. I mean, on the East Coast, FCS. If you're watching FCS only, you're in bed by 9 p.m. if you want to be. Football's over, which I thought was very cool. Now let's get into some of these games. The first one, awesome game, Montana State at Montana. I'm going to tell you what the name of this rivalry is and tell me this isn't just a bad freaking group of dudes playing this game. The game is called the Brawl of the Wild
Absolutely legendary.
because
That
it's,
is fantastic.
the Grizzlies versus the Bobcats. Brawl of the Wild.
That's fantastic.
I looked it up.
It's freaking awesome.
After listening to you on Sunday, I looked it up because I was like, I have it written down to make sure to put in there just in case you forgot to look it up because that name is so cool. I think it is. It might be the best. It might be the best rivalry game name ever.
I was about to say the same thing, Griff. I was about to say the same thing. That is an awesome freaking rivalry game name. Game name. That's awesome.
Especially if it's snowing up there.
Oh, and there's a good chance it will be.
Yeah.
Because it's in Missoula. It's at Montana's place, not Montana State's. I've been in Bozeman when it's been snowing during a football game. Just a beautiful sight, baby. Rocky Mountains are in the background. I mean, it just doesn't get any better. That's going to be a great game. Montana State's like ranked number 2. I think Montana's more like 6, 7, 8, somewhere in that range, maybe 5. So it's always a great game, but especially when they're both ranked in the top 10. Now, next one doesn't have a cool name. Sacramento State, UC Davis. These teams are in the Big Sky. They are both playing for a playoff spot. This Sacramento and Davis, California, they're both up in the Northern California areas. This is a rivalry game too. They're both trying to play their way into the playoffs. So they're in the same conference with Montana and Montana State, the Big Sky, but they're trying to play in for an at-large spot. And the Big Sky is probably going to get in about 5 teams in the playoffs because they're a good conference. Next, you got Maine versus Rhode Island. Rhode Island is the top dog in the CAA. Now we're on the East. We went West Coast. Now we're East Coast. Rhode Island's the top dog there. Maine is middle of the road trying to get an at-large spot. I don't know if they're going to get it. The last few years, CAA has gotten a lot of teams in kind of controversially. They get a lot of teams in, they don't do well in the playoffs. So it'll be interesting to see how they kind of handle that. Do they put a lot of teams in again, or do they just put the top 2 or 3? We'll see. Because the playoffs in FCS has 24 teams, not 12. All right, so you got a little more room. Now, here's another one. Harvard versus Yale. That one is called The Game, if I'm not mistaken. I thought I had it right here.
Yeah.
I'm about to pull it up for you.
Or maybe Ohio State, Michigan.
Yeah.
That is Ohio State, Michigan for sure. Harvard, Yale. Where is it? It's not even on this list. Anyway, I believe it's called The Game.
I'm looking it up for you.
Harvard is looking to go undefeated, first Ivy League team to ever make it into the playoff, because this is the first year they've been eligible. Yale is trying to go win and get the automatic bid. If they get the auto bid, Harvard will most likely be in at large. So, and Yale thinking maybe we can win and go 9-1 instead of 10-0 and get an at large. I don't see it, but it's usually always very close game. Usually very close game. So that's a big one to watch. In the MEAC HBCU conference, we're over on the East Coast. Delaware State at South Carolina State. Delaware State, Deshaun Jackson's their coach. They're both, the winner of this is going to make it into the conference championship game. Actually, they might have a rematch in the conference championship game, if they even have one. I know the SWAC does. I don't know if the MEAC does. But they're playing for that spot to get into the Celebration Bowl. That's the HBCU National Championship game. That's a pretty big deal. That'll be a fun one. South Dakota State at North Dakota. South Dakota State is 0-4 in their last 4 games, and North Dakota is pretty dang good. North Dakota needs to win to get in the playoffs. South Dakota State needs to win to get in the playoffs, but South Dakota State still is, if they win, they're not guaranteed either. But if they lose, they're certainly out. This will be probably the first year in a decade or more that South Dakota State has not made the playoffs. And it's very, very possible. They have been very bad these last 4 weeks, especially compared to how good they've been before that. And in the first half of the season. Now, the quarterback's out. Will they be able to play? I don't think so. So North Dakota, I think, is going to win, and they'll get at large. They're in the Missouri Valley. They're going to get in probably. Missouri Valley, again, Southern Illinois versus Illinois State, same thing, playing for an at-large spot in the Missouri Valley. A couple Illinois squads, you know what I mean? I think Illinois State's going to be the team that pulls that out. Southern Illinois is kind of going a little downhill. Illinois State's ascending, so Illinois State. Now, Tennessee Martin versus Tennessee Tech. Tennessee Tech is undefeated in the FCS, lost to Kentucky last weekend. UT Martin is trying to storm back in the second half of the year, and I'm pretty sure if Tennessee Martin wins this game, they win the conference, and then Tennessee Tech will be trying to get an at-large spot in the OVC Big South. So that's intriguing. That is pretty crazy. And the Tennessee Tech is moving to the Southern Conference either this coming up year or the year after. So they're trying to go catapult into the Southern Conference and go kind of dominate that. So anyway, got 2 left. Lehigh versus Lafayette. This is the Patriot League. There's a name for this one, and that name is, hold up, Lehigh, Lafayette. The Rivalry. It's called The Rivalry. Lehigh and Lafayette. Lehigh has dominated everybody they played. Lafayette can score about 70 points a game, but will give up about 68. So, and when we get to our bet portion, I'm taking the over, baby, because it's going to be a lot of points. Big rivalry game, though. Lehigh's trying to go and be undefeated. Lafayette's trying to screw it all up and go win and possibly get that that auto bid in the Patriot. And then the last one, Tarleton State is hosting Austin Peay. Tarleton State's ranked in the top 10, and Austin P is trying to get an at-large spot as well, coming from the United Athletic Conference. And I just think Tarleton State's going to roll over them like a freaking road grader. Tarleton State's very good. Austin P has shown glimpses of being good, but they have been inconsistent. So there's your FCS games in my mind that are big games that are going to play a big part of who's in the playoffs and who's not in that FCS field. And you all know, if you've watched the show, that I love some FCS playoff football or FCS football in general. Now, Griff, what's your comment of the week, brother? Give us something good from the people.
My comment of the week, let me pull it up just real quickly. And Jake, I think you might know this guy, in Holton, Nick.
Yeah, dude. That's
Okay.
my boy from Barry.
Yeah, I saw his comment on the last video, and he said, this podcast is, in all caps, dangerous, ... Lee good. Keep them coming for us road dogs on the recruiting trail, big wave. Appreciate that. Nice to know that you guys are listening to this while you're out on the road. That's real fun knowledge to have.
That's the big wave. We call him Big Wave, right?
Rod Wave.
Well, no, not quite. Big Wave. And I lived with him when I was in Barry. He's over at McKendree now, coaching O-line. He's actually the OC right now at McKendree there, and I believe it's Illinois. Or is it Indiana? One of those I states. That's my guy, Nick Holton. He actually, when he commented that, he texted me and told me to check it out, And so that's good to know, right? I mean, some coaches, some seasons are ending. Some are getting close to ending, and they're going to be on the road. They're going to need something to listen to, right?
That's right.
So coaches, if you want to listen to the boys, somebody you know and you love, check us out on the recruit trail. I've been there. I know you got plenty of time. You're on the road for hours. Just check us out for an hour. Just an hour during the trip, right? It doesn't have to be anything crazy. And sometimes 2 hours, but who cares? Right? You've got that time. So give us a listen or a watch, man. We appreciate that. Wave, we appreciate it. I've already told him this. We appreciate it, man. You're getting a big shout out here, Big Wave. And then we'd love to get some more coaches on here, and then we'll get some coaches actually as guests on the podcast, man. That's where we really get to be big time, right? That's what we're looking for. So
that's right.
Thank you, Big Wave. I'll just piggyback off of what Griff said. Thank you, Wave. That's huge, man. Okay. Heisman race. Talked about it last week a little. It sucks because some of these Heisman moments are after they have terrible first halves.
Yep. That is correct.
What I need somebody to just dominate and just take the trophy.
Yep.
I mean that's fair. That's fair. I mean that would be the easiest thing to do, but yeah, I mean I went from Marcel Reed has completely lost the Heisman to he just played himself back into it in one game.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I think right now I've still got Mendoza as the front runner. Man, Ty Simpson had a chance to make himself put himself higher up on that list. But you lose to Oklahoma. You have a couple fumbles. Hey, did y'all know this, that Ty Simpson has more fumbles this year than Jalen Milroe did last year?
Really?
I did not know that.
I didn't either.
Yeah, so for all the talk of Milroe not holding the ball and you ain't heard boo about it, granted, Ty Simpson's thrown one pick, and that's all you hear, but he's also fumbled it 5 times. Now he's thrown, 2 picks?
Now it's 2, yeah.
Yeah.
But he's got it was 4 fumbles and 1 interception before they played Oklahoma. And he's fumbled once in every game in the last 4 games, I think. 4 or 5 games.
Wow, I did not realize that.
Yeah. But Marcel Reed throwing for, 400 40
439.
yards, 439. I mean, dang. That's crazy. And some of the balls he threw in the second half were just unreal.
Yeah.
And Bethel Roman, then him and the Isaiah Williams stepping up for Craver, who was out.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to those guys because they stepped up. Now, granted, that Bethel Roman had a drop in the first half that was pretty bad, but
I think everybody had a drop in the first half.
yeah,
it was
nobody
awful.
could catch it. The referee couldn't even catch it between snaps.
No.
It was
Yeah,
pretty rough.
it was pretty rough. Here's what I want to, because obviously we're gonna say the same guys, right? We're gonna say Reed, Mendoza, Simpson, and then you may throw a little Mayava, may throw a little Sayin. Sayin's also up there pretty high. You may throw a little Pavia. Here is the guy for me, and because it's a quarterback award now, basically, unless you rush for about 1,000,000 yards. Jeremiah Love has got to be up there. He's got to go to New York. Now, I think the first game or two, he was not as efficient, was not getting as many yards when they lost the 2 games. And maybe that's part of what's holding him back. I don't know. But the last 8 games or whatever they played, that dude has been unreal. The explosiveness that guy has, the way he makes people miss, and they haven't been playing super great competition, but still, that dude is unreal. Now, here's the other guy. Griff, you brought his name to my attention. Where's the love for Fagnano? Huh? Where's my guy from UConn, Jim Mora, Fagnano? What? Jim Mora's the coach. Fagnano's the quarterback. Where's the love for him? 1 pick all year? He's leading the UConn Huskies to a 9-win season? Huh?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Get into New York. He's not far. Connecticut, he's not far. Just let him take the old train over to New York and be at the thing if it's that big of a deal to you.
That's
you
right.
know? Jeremiah Love, Fagnano. Get him in New York.
I got one more name. Kewan Lacey at Ole Miss.
Ooh.
He's got 1 more rush yard over the season and 2 more touchdowns than Jeremiah Love.
No, he's got 5 more touchdowns than Jeremiah Love.
No, does Love not? He has 14.
Love's got 14. Lacey's got 19.
Okay.
However,
how about this?
Stand corrected.
However, he's got like 50-something more carries, but still.
Yeah, but.
And he's playing in SEC.
He's averaging 5 yards a carry.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
5 yards a carry, solid.
If you put Fat Cat in Notre Dame's schedule, what do you think will happen?
How about this? Heisman history. Kewan Lacey, Trinidad Chambliss, both win. You take it to Ole Miss. You split the Heisman Trophy in half. One takes one half. One takes the other. But you keep the trophy at Ole Miss because it's basically an offensive team award at that scenario.
Yep.
Guys, I saw this, something about this the other day, and I'm trying to look it up just to make sure I'm correct. So I think that every year that ends in a 5 since they started the award in 1935, every single winner is a running back.
Griff, that's why you're the stat guy, son. That's why you're the stat guy.
I'm going through it right now, and I'm at 1965, 75, 85 was Bo Jackson, 95 was Eddie George, 2005 Reggie Bush, 15 Derrick Henry. So who's going to win it this year? What running back's going to win it this year? It's got to be Jeremiah Love. We got to keep it going. This is a tradition unlike any other.
Wow.
Except for the Masters.
Give it to a running back. Give the love to the running backs. And let's keep the streak going.
Let's do it.
That's what should happen.
I think that'd be awesome. Running backs need a little more love. That's a fact, brother. They need some more love.
Yep.
That's a Griff. That's phenomenal, man. That's very good. That's very good. Okay, now listen. Let's move on to a couple little parlays, little bets. Okay, anything that y'all have seen so far that y'all say, well, you know what? These might be good bets to take. I'll let whoever wants to start. I'll go last.
D.
I can start it off. So I saw Duke, North Carolina, at North Carolina. Duke minus 6.5. I'm saying take UNC, buy it up to 7.5. Take them at home. Duke didn't look
Wait,
great
say,
last
say,
week.
say it again. Say it again on USC.
UNC, North Carolina.
Oh, UNC. Sorry.
Yeah, plus 6.5 at home against Duke.
Okay.
Okay. Then I've got Arizona
Mm-hmm.
and Baylor. I've got over 61.5.
Okay.
That is a 11 o'clock
Yep.
Central, noon Eastern kickoff. Okay. These games can go one or of two ways, which is generally how they go. No team scores at all, or they both score until 9 p.m. that night. They just can't stop scoring.
Yeah.
I've got,
Yeah, I give you that.
I have got one more. No, sorry, two more. I've got Missouri, Oklahoma, over under at 41.5. I'm saying take the under. Take the under in that game. Missouri
Okay.
with the third string, second string quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently Bo Pribula might possibly play. No clue. Oklahoma hasn't showed me enough on offense to make me
There's
think
a
that they can
chance.
score a ton. And
Yeah.
with Mateer, he just hasn't been the guy we thought he was. So I'm taking the under in that game. Last one, USC's been pretty poor on the road this year. They're going to Oregon. Oregon is a 9.5-point favorite. I'm saying buy that up to 10.5 and take USC plus 10.5 on the road at Oregon.
Oh, you talk
Yes,
about
sir.
point pushing.
Oh, yeah. Point pushing, son.
Yeesh, man, we're cheating up in here. The cheaters.
All right. So here are my. I got three, but then I'm going to give you another one at the end. So I got four.
Okay.
I like Coastal
Great math,
Carolina.
by the way.
Coastal Carolina, it's minus 23 and or South Carolina's minus 23.5 against Coastal Carolina. Give me Coastal Carolina plus, get it up to 24.5, push some points there. The one of mine was USC plus 10.5 against Oregon, so you can keep that one. Give me Georgia Tech minus 2.5 against Pitt. Pitt played like a word that rhymes with Pitt last week, so I like Georgia Tech to win that one by at least a field goal. And then I'm going to give y'all
Good one, G.
I'm going to give y'all an underdog outright winner in Georgia Southern at home against Old Dominion. They're an 11.5-point underdog, but give me Georgia Southern, the Eagles, to pull it
Wow.
off at home to keep this thing going. And I do like the over in that one, 62.5. So.
Griff, I like all that you just said. All those you said, I like. I had some of these on my sheet too. I really like the Georgia Southern one. I wasn't gonna say win outright, but I was gonna say certainly plus 11.5 or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, those are good. The Coastal Carolina plus 23.5. So I'm not a point pusher. I don't do that mess, but you know, I like it. The Georgia Tech minus 2.5.
Maybe
I
next
love it.
season.
All right. Well, I
Yeah.
guess
Yeah.
whatever. Anyway, um, I like Missouri plus 7.5.
Mm.
I like Virginia Tech plus 17.5 at home with Miami on the road.
Mm.
Miami's got a little something to play for. Can they handle it?
Yeah.
Virginia Tech's going to play Inner Sandman blasting through Miami's ears for about 60 minutes. And then here's the last two. Well, last two FBS. Tennessee minus 3.5 versus Florida in the swamp. I'm not saying they're going to blow them out, but they're going to win by more than 3. Okay. Don't tell me to push points down to 2.5. Don't you dare.
No. See, my underdog bet is Florida money line in that game.
What? Money line? Holy
Yeah.
crap.
Tennessee has not beat Florida at Florida since 2003. I'm telling you, Florida's got
the streak ends.
That's what I was going to say.
Okay.
The streak is over.
It's got to end at some point. 22 years is long enough.
Man, it's a great streak, Florida. Enjoy it while it lasts. Anyway, last one. FBS. BYU minus 2.5 in Cincinnati. Let me tell you something, man. The Big 12 and these spreads are kicking my butt. Because you had BYU versus Texas Tech, and they were plus 10.5. I thought, duh, that's easy. Take that. Wrong. Then you had, what was it? It was before
Utah and Cincinnati,
and it was plus 10.5 Cincinnati. I said, duh, take that one plus 10.5. And I got my butt spanked all around the yard with both of those.
35-point win later.
Yeah, and a 22-point win later also on the other.
Yeah.
So I'm about 50 points down, maybe 60. And now BYU minus 2.5. I'm saying, hey, they're gonna beat Cincinnati like they stole something. Come on, man. Come on, BYU. Help me out, Bear. Come on, Bear. F it, right? Anyway, listen. A couple FCS. Yale plus 7.5 at Harvard. This game is always close. In my recollection, this game's always close. It's going to be within one possession.
I like that pick.
Lehigh versus Lafayette. I mentioned this earlier. Give me the over. Lafayette can't stop anybody, and Lehigh can score.
What is
Lafayette's
the over
going to
under
score.
on that game?
It was. It's really not that high. I think it's like 51.5 or something. It's low, and so that's why I'm saying it's a no-brainer. Because I know Lafayette can't stop anybody. That's my big thing on it. All right. So Chattanooga plays Wofford this weekend. Wofford's favored by 3.5. Give me Chattanooga. I'm picking that outright. Chattanooga's gonna beat Wofford outright. Is what I'm saying. And now it's in dang Spartanburg, South Carolina. Home game for Wofford. Give me Chat. Last one. You got North Dakota at South Dakota State minus 9.5. They're gonna do it. 10 plus. That's how bad South Dakota State's looked, man. And North Dakota's been pretty good. Now, my turn for comment of the week. And I've got a couple. All right, so just bear with me here, please. So I've got two from our episode last week, all three of us from last week. The first one, you know what? I got to give my man Hudson Hines some freaking love because he's been commenting almost since the beginning.
Yep.
My man HH out there. He said, now y'all going to have to help me. Right, y'all going to have to help me with this. He said, Notre Dame is a mortal mega nuclear max. Now, I need y'all to kind of help me with what that means because I don't really have any idea.
I'm not really sure. I read it. I'm not sure. But I'm in.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, I love it. Hey, you know what? It says mortal, so I'm thinking he's thinking Notre Dame's not as good as they think, as people are saying. A mortal mega nuclear max. I'm thinking he's thinking they're going to implode at some point, and it might be in the first round of the playoffs. But we'll see. Now, on the same episode, the Lane train, and not Kiffin. We're not talking about Kiffin here. That would be great too. Maybe at some point, if we say enough about him, he'll he's a troller.
Yeah.
And if he trolls you, you've made it. But this is not the Lane Kiffin train. This is the Lane Powell train. And so, as you all know, LSU has a head coaching vacancy, and he threw a name in the hat, just thinking, we'll see. Coach Tubb, head coach of the Monroe Academy Balls. He says, "New LSU head coach, ... Tubb, question mark? I say, give it a try.
All right, give him a chance. Hey, Take old GW down there as your defensive coordinator, and I guarantee y'all have maybe an
Listen,
SEC champ.
if you get old G Dub down there, brother, if you get G Dub, it's a natty year one.
Yeah.
If you get the boys back together, man, natty. Now,
Yeah.
I'm giving you two more. I'm not going to do this every week, but it's the first time we're doing it. We'll make sure we get people loved. All right. So Griff, this is garbage. What you put on there, man. You definitely have enough case you gear to hand out. Shut up, Griff.
Oh,
No, I
that's no
don't.
doubt.
I mean,
I used to.
Everybody.
storage
I
unit
used
pulls.
to. I don't have it anymore, dude. I don't have it anymore. I donated it back or most of it when I left. So I do have some, not enough to hand out anymore. I got a couple hoodies, a couple shirts, and a hat or two, and that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
And now, yeah, I used to have a good amount of stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm kicking myself for not keeping a lot of it now because I wish I had it. But you know what? You live and you learn.
They'll give you more.
So Griff, garbage, dude. Terrible comment, Griff. Awful. Now, here's one I gotta shout out. Old Sally.
Let's go.
Because
Old
Sally, Big Sal, has been loyal, commenting about almost every episode. This one in particular, loving the show and your enthusiasm, good information. She has been nothing but positivity and loyalty the whole time.
That's right.
And you know what? If you don't know who Sally is, that's our grandmother, and she is awesome. And so I've been needing to do this for a few weeks now, and I'm finally getting to it. So I apologize, but Sally, you're getting the love you deserve here, and we greatly appreciate it. Okay.
Shout out Sally's play that she's having in December, Christmas Queens. Let's get everybody hyped for it. Let's go.
She's in a play. She's an actress. She does it all. So
sometimes she raps. So
you might get to see that.
Might get to see some rapping.
Something special.
I'm talking about
RAP. Right.
RAP.
Yeah, not WR. We're talking about RAP.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So no silent W there. Go check it out, folks, if you're in the Birmingham area anytime over the December season, the Christmas season. Now, let's get to some games here. All right. And we won't take a whole lot of time. Let's just roll through them kind of quickly, okay? I'm going to roll through the weekday games. Had action last night, Akron versus Bowling Green, UMass, Ohio, Western Michigan, NIU. I don't want to brag, boys. I was undefeated last night on the 3 games. Akron beats Bowling Green. Ohio dominates UMass. And Western Michigan dominates Northern Illinois, even though Northern Illinois jumped out to a 13-0 lead start the game. And then Western Michigan, guess what, Griff? 34 unanswered. You know, you love the unanswered, don't you, Griff? Tonight,
that's a debate we need to have in the offseason.
That's a conversation
that's
we need to have sometime.
I know.
I'm right.
And we'll get to it, okay? We'll get to it. That is a great off-season question. One of y'all write that down so we don't forget it. Tonight, Central Michigan is playing Kent State, and Miami of Ohio is playing Buffalo. The Buffalo Buffaloes, actually. And I thought I had the scores right here in front of me, but I don't. So you've got Central Michigan leading Kent State 14-9 in the fourth. Miami of Ohio leading the Buffalo Bulls, 24-20 at the end of the third. All right, so, okay, and tomorrow you've got a little fun belt, Lafayette at Arkansas State. Arkansas State's trying to maybe play their way into the conference championship game if Southern Miss can screw around and lose a couple more games. And then on Friday, you've got Florida State going to NC State. NC State looked bad at Miami last weekend, but they're at home. Florida State hadn't looked great on the road, and they're on the road. Be closer than probably people think. And then this is maybe my favorite game of the weekday games is Hawaii versus UNLV. This is a huge game in the Mountain West. The winner of this is going to give themselves a shot to get into the freaking conference championship game in the Mountain West. So, and you got the cardiac kids at UNLV. It's come to bite them a few times with Dan Mullen. Can they get it done at home in Vegas? Hawaii coming to the contiguous United States. and playing in Vegas. Who can win it? We'll see. All right, we're going to start here. G5. Griff, it looks like he's having some technical difficulties. All right, when he comes back, we'll let him jump right in. Dalton, ECU and UTSA, man. Uh, ECU's is trying to play their way in possibly if they get some more chaos in the American.
Yep.
UTSA in San Antonio is not an easy out, baby. They got to win. They got a tough game. They're favored by 2.5. What do you think happens?
Yeah. ECU's trying to play in, but I'm going to take the Roadrunners at home.
Ooh.
I have a UTSA shirt from when I was
Yeah,
like 12. So I got to ride with my day one boys.
Got to do it, man. Got to do it, man. You're a road runner at heart. Griff, can you hear us? Are you there?
Yeah. I'm good.
Come on, man. What you got?
I've got East Carolina. They've been kind of a sneaky team all year. Big win last week for the Pirates against Memphis at home. So give me ECU to go to San Antonio and take care of business. Close, though. Close.
Yeah. I got to go with my man, Coach Blake Carroll, the head coach there at ECU. ECU's going to go into San Antonio and win the game. They're going to do it. Now let's go to let's go to this one. A big game. Washington State at JMU.
Yep.
JMU's trying to go win a playoff spot, and Washington State is standing in the way. And it's in James Madison in Virginia. I'll start. I've got JMU. Okay, JMU's favored. Let's see by how much.
2 touchdowns.
13.5.
By 13.5. Crap. I think they got a shot to get it there. There's one I'm not totally sure if they can win it by 2 scores, but I think JMU wins the game though.
Yeah. Yep. I think JMU as well. Yeah. I don't know if you take the 14 points just because Washington State has played some close games with Ole Miss, Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
You just never know what's going to happen with them.
But then North Texas hung about 60 on them.
God, North Texas killed them.
Yeah, I'll take James Madison too. I would probably take Washington State plus 14.5. I'd buy it up one. I know, Jake, you really don't like that. But the over under 42.5 is interesting to me. It's like too low that I don't know why you wouldn't take the under just because I don't know. But yeah, give me James Madison.
Yeah. You said the over under was 42.5.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That might be one that you take.
I think both defenses are pretty good, so I don't know. I mean, it's looking they're pretty much putting it at a 28-14 win for James Madison.
Right.
If you
go by the spread, yeah.
Right.
All right. So you mentioned this Griff as your upset.
Mm-hmm.
Old Dominion down in Statesboro, Georgia, playing Georgia Southern. You know, I think Georgia Southern's going to keep this game super close. I just still think Old Dominion's going to win. You know what? Old Dominion runs the old reverse zone read, dude. I love that play. It freaking puts defensive ends in a bind. I'm going to go Old Dominion. But close. Oh, you got to take Georgia Southern plus whatever it was, 11.5.
Mm-hmm.
ODU wins, though. Wins a close one. Hey, it's Coach Saff's birthday today. He's the DB's coach there at Georgia Southern, coached at Kennesaw State for a couple years when I was a GA.
Nice.
Happy birthday, brother. I'm sorry I picked ODU, but I think you're going to keep it close. Just go win the game. Prove me wrong, dude. Y'all go ahead.
Hey, Coach Staff, I got you, baby. Let's go Georgia Southern Eagles, Statesboro. Let's fight.
Oh, man. Getting into it, big.
Getting ready for it. Hey, man.
Let's go, dude. D, you got anything you want to add, or you just got Georgia Southern? Did you say something? I just missed it.
Yeah, I feel like I already talked.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be close.
I think it's going to be close too.
I don't think Georgia Southern can win, but yeah, I would take the plus 11.5 on that. I think
Gotcha.
Old Dominion pulls it out.
Gotcha.
I like
Yeah,
Old
man.
Dominion to go ahead late and Georgia Southern go down and kick a field goal to win it. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, write that down.
Now we're predicting the future.
Write it down, dude. All right, listen. The biggest non-conference, I mean not non-conference, the biggest Group of Five game of the weekend. I'll just so happen to be in attendance. Missouri State at Kennesaw State. Let me tell you what's going to happen here. Kennesaw State is favored by 6.5. Kennesaw State just played a bad, turnover-ridden game at Jacksonville State and still almost won the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still pissed. Listen, Kennesaw State's going to be at home in the bank. All right, I'll be in there. And Kennesaw State is going to quit throwing freaking interceptions. Odom, and Odom threw 2 or 3 interceptions. Guess what? They brought in Dexter Williams at the end of the game. He should have thrown 2 or 3. He had a couple Jackson State guys drop it. It hit him right in the hands. They're going to get it fixed. And it's going to be a lot of points for Kennesaw State. Defense is going to be freaking solid. Give me Kennesaw State minus 6.5.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Riding with
Yeah.
the KSU Owls minus 6.5.
Double it and give it to the next person.
Dang.
Come on, babe. Come on, let's do it then. I like it, man. I'm good. All right, listen. So these next couple are G5, but they're playing P4. But I think they're intriguing enough. This is more about the spread. Now, if you want to pick somebody outright, do it. But these are more about the spread. And we talked about one of them already, so we'll start with the other one. All right. Western Kentucky at LSU. Western Kentucky can score points. LSU cannot.
Yes.
Now, LSU's defense is pretty stout.
Yeah.
But now in Western Kentucky's defense is probably not as good. Can LSU hold the spread of 21.5? That's a 3-touchdown win.
And you know what? LSU has barely scored 21 points all year. And the one time, or one of the only times they did it, was against La Tech, and they only scored 23.
Well, when they played Southeastern Louisiana, they scored about the same amount of points.
Excuse me, it was Southeastern Louisiana.
Oh, okay. Well, they 23. I mean, they scored.
I don't know.
They scored about the same against both teams.
Yeah. So I do like. I mean, if I were gonna, I probably won't. But if I were gonna take anything in this game, it would be Western Kentucky plus 21.5. Now, LSU could come out and absolutely light it up, and then we're just sitting here with our twiddling our thumbs.
No, please, for the love of God, finish your sentence. No, I got.
What you got, son?
I got LSU, but I concur on the Western Kentucky plus 21.5. I just don't see LSU being able to score. I mean, I think that LSU would have to score about 42 to 45 to be able to cover that, and I don't see that happening. Because I think Western Kentucky can score. I think they'll be able to score a little bit. So I think, yeah. So give me LSU to win, but Western Kentucky plus 21.5.
Yeah. I mean, it's very tricky, and I would also think plus 21.5, just because Western Kentucky's offense can be pretty good. The last time I bet on Western Kentucky, I bet them to beat Florida International by like a touchdown or 10, and they looked the worst I've ever seen Western Kentucky look in my life. Not just this season, in my life. So maybe I will never bet on West Kentucky again. Okay. Next one, we talked about it. Coastal Carolina at South Carolina. Their spread is 23.5. I think they might keep that within 24 also.
Yeah.
You better hope it's not the South Carolina of first half of last week.
That's what I was about to say.
If it's that, and then Ooh, they'll kill them. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's the real South Carolina.
I don't either.
Which obviously it's not because they're what 3-7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I
but
think that was the
Well,
fake Texas A&M.
yes, I've got to give our boy Trey Carter a shout out. He's a GA down there at Coastal. I
Oh
haven't
yeah.
given him a shout out all year, probably because he's ugly as sin, but he's a GA down there at Coastal. I'd love to see Coastal go in there and give South Carolina a run for their money. You know what I mean? Go
yep.
freaking get after the Gamecocks. It's not
Mm-hmm.
Cocktober anymore. They weren't
No.
good in Cocktober anyway.
It's
It's
Shot
it's a
Vember.
it's a it's a couple birds, one fake, one real bird going after it. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes.
True. True.
Okay, we got P4. All right, we've been here for a while. Let's roll through them. No, we'll have to speed through them, but it's decent pace.
Yeah.
Got a meeting in
Interesting
10
one.
minutes.
Louisville SMU.
I got SMU at home. They are fighting for. They've got to win out to have a chance at the ACC championship game.
Yep.
Now they've got to have some other stuff happen, but if they lose, they're out. Louisville,
Yeah.
I think their season's pretty much nosediving after the loss to Clemson last week. So I'm gonna take SMU.
Yeah. I got SMU too. I think they cover it. I like them at home, and I agree. They're playing for a chance. I mean, really, they just need Virginia to lose, and they're in
Yeah,
because Georgia Tech and Pitt
yeah.
are playing each other. So, if they want to stay alive in this thing, I like SMU to keep it going.
Yep. SMU at home. Louisville has looked too bad for me. I don't like it. Um, the other game in ACC, a game that is going to be in close proximity where I'll be on Saturday, but I will not be able to go to both, unfortunately.
Mm.
Pitt at Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech is playing to get an ACC championship as well as Pitt. I think Georgia Tech. Mm, and the tough part is that Georgia Tech's defense has been so rough lately.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that Georgia Tech might run it up on them. Georgia Tech's favored by
Yeah.
2.5. I would take Georgia Tech minus 2.5.
Yeah. I like the over in this game too. Over 62.5. Like you said, Georgia Tech's defense is hard to for them to get a stop. Pitt kind of the
Yep.
same way. And Pitt they can't run the ball, so they're going to have to throw it, and I think they'll be able to. But I think Georgia Tech will be able to hold them off. Give me Georgia Tech minus 2.5 over 62.5.
Mm. Yeah, I got Georgia Tech picked. I actually was between Georgia Tech and Pitt in this game, going back and forth. I picked Georgia Tech because they're at home. If this game were at Pitt, I probably would have taken Pitt. And I know they looked bad against Notre Dame, but old head coach was talking about um,
Mm-hmm.
how they could lose to Notre Dame by 100 pretty much, and it wouldn't matter. So I think as a team, when you say that as a coach, I think as a team, you're looking towards your ACC, you're looking towards your conference championship. So I think as good as Notre Dame is, I think there was a little bit of looking ahead towards this week and next week. But I'm still going to take Georgia Tech. I think they're going to be able to score too much, and I don't think Pitt is going to be able to keep up with them. But I do like the
Mm-hmm.
over. 2.5 scares me,
Yeah,
but I like
I,
the
I'll
over.
I'll say this on the Pat Narduzzi comments is it was so wild to hear that because they're sitting at seven. They were sitting at 7-2, and you win that Notre Dame game, you're well on your
Like, yeah,
way to you beat Georgia Tech. You're in the ACC championship,
and then you beat
and you can play the
Miami.
playoff. Yeah, and you can be in the playoff.
You go Notre Dame, Georgia Tech, Miami, bam, bam, bam.
You're in the
They'll
playoff.
win the
But
ACC
now,
championship. Boom.
no,
Yeah.
I thought that was wild. But
Great. ACC, that's it. Big 12, BYU Cincinnati.
Give me Bach and the boys. Bach and Joseph Smith leading the charge
mm,
into
Good
Cincinnati.
old Bear Bach.
yep, give me yeah. Um, Give me BYU cover the 2.5. I think they're too physical. I think they'll be able to run the ball well. I think they'll be able to play good defense. So be BYU.
Yeah. Yeah, I just Cincinnati. They lost to Arizona last week. I think Cincinnati's on the going the wrong way.
Hmm.
BYU's going back up after they lost to Texas Tech, and
Yeah.
it's probably more physical than Cincinnati. USC Oregon. I'm going Oregon. I think USC is going to give them one heck of a fight. They're going to keep it close, but I got to go Oregon. I think I just trust Oregon more.
Yeah. I don't trust USC on the road, but I do think with the circumstances the way they are, they've got to win out to have a shot at anything. So I think that's going to light a little bit of a fire under them. I like them to cover the 9.5, like I said earlier, or 10.5, whatever. Like I said earlier, but I like Oregon to pull it out.
Yeah. This game is very intriguing because both of them,
Hmm.
Oregon played Iowa 2 weeks ago. USC played Iowa last week. Both very similar games for two teams, USC and Oregon, who are not known for just being able to maintain, like basically out Iowa-ing Iowa. Um,
Hmm.
and I know USC has not played well on the road, but give me USC to go into the zoo and get the win. I don't know, just something about it. I feel like it's going to be a close win for USC. I kind of trust them right now. I just kind of trust them.
I don't hate that at all.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, I think it's going to be that close where it could go either way. I
Hmm.
think it's going to be that close. It could fall either way in the end.
Yeah.
All right, last one in the Big Ten, Nebraska, Penn State. Um, Nebraska's got the old backup quarterback playing. Penn State is trying to finish the season strong. They got their first conference win of the year last week. Penn State did, and then Penn State's at home. Penn State's favored by about 9.5.
Hmm.
Um, let me see, and they're playing at 7 p.m. They're in Happy Valley.
Hmm.
I picked Penn State to win to keep the winning going.
I did too.
Yep, I
They
did
beat
too.
Michigan
Now,
State pretty soundly.
yeah.
Michigan State,
Hmm.
they're not the worst team ever, and that was on the road
Hmm.
too.
Yep. Yes, it was.
But I like Penn State as well.
Yeah, give me Penn State to. I think they cover the spread against Nebraska, and especially without Patty Mahomes Jr.
Mm. PMJ.
Yeah. A lot of people say without PMJ, USC wouldn't have beaten them.
Mm,
'Cause that was the game he got hurt in.
yeah.
Or sorry, with
Um,
with PMJ.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
if he would have finished the game, the USC would not have beaten him.
Let
So
me ask you this
I
real
don't know if that's
quick.
true or not.
Maybe.
That's what they say.
The Patrick Mahomes Jr. thing. Did y'all see that Nebraska's tight? This has been several weeks back. The Nebraska tight end proposed to his girlfriend on the field, and people were making jokes
Oh,
about how Dylan Raiola made Nebraska's tight end propose so that they could be like Travis and Taylor. So he's trying to keep living out this cosplay of Patrick Mahomes. I thought
That's
that was pretty
classic,
funny.
man.
gosh.
That's classic.
Classic
All
PMJ.
right, gentlemen. Let's get into the SEC real quick. The first one, to me, the biggest game in SEC this weekend is Missouri at Oklahoma.
Yep.
And Oklahoma is trying to play their way in. They got to keep winning. If they lose, they're out of the picture. Because Oklahoma plays Missouri this week and then LSU next week. So they don't have necessarily just super easy schedule to finish the year off. I got the toughest freaking schedule in America, I think. I mean, Florida's up there too, but man, it's tough.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
like you said earlier, Dalton, there is a chance that Bo Perbula can play in this game. And if he can play and he's actually healthy, then that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I mean I've got Oklahoma to win, but it's the confidence level the trust meter is low on this game on my pick.
Yeah,
Hmm.
with Oklahoma at 7.5, I like Missouri to cover plus 7.5 in this game.
Mm.
And I said the under also. I think this is going to be like a watching paint dry type game if you're an offensive guy.
Yeah, it certainly
Yeah.
might be. Because
Yeah,
Oklahoma's offense hasn't done anything lately.
Mm.
I think it's going to be a lot of field goals.
Hmm.
I trust Oklahoma's defense. I trust Missouri's defense. I don't really trust either of their offenses. I mean, I know Oklahoma got the win last week. They scored one offensive touchdown, and it was off a turnover that put them into plus territory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Missouri's defensive front is pretty good. And
Yeah.
I don't think Oklahoma's offensive line is great. They can't run the ball super well. I look for Missouri's defensive line to get after Oklahoma's offense just in general. But I do like Oklahoma to win it. I like Missouri to cover the 7.5. I agree, D. I think it's going to be a slow, ugly game. Lots of field goals, very few
The
Yeah.
points.
game's at 11 a.m. local time too.
That's going to make it
Yeah.
even worse.
11 a.m. Wake up, drop a deuce, you're playing, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Drop two.
Got to finish it
let's
off.
go to this one. Yeah, yeah. Let's go to this one. Arkansas at Texas. Um, Texas is favored by 8.5. It's in Austin. Texas is a team that I just don't think has looked very good except for like one or two games all year,
Mm-hmm.
and it hadn't even been the full games. Um, but Arkansas, I just don't think they can do it against Texas defense. I mean, they can score, but Texas defense is pretty. Texas defense is what's kept them in the games they've won and stayed in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I like Texas, and I like them to cover 8.5.
Yeah.
Arkansas's got a good offense, but Texas has a good defense. Arkansas has a terrible defense, and Texas has a serviceable offense, especially at home.
Mm-hmm.
So if they can score 10 points, I think they got it. No, I mean
Yeah.
I think it'll be pretty high scoring, but I do think Texas will. I think Texas will win and cover.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with everything you just said. I think Texas will be able to score points. I think Arkansas will be able to as well, but I just think Texas defense is more well equipped to keep Arkansas at bay than Arkansas is to keep Texas at bay. So unless Arch Manning and Texas they beat themselves, that's the only way they're going to lose a game is if they just go completely brain dead on offense and can't move the ball just
Which
because
could
of
happen.
themselves, which could happen. But I
Yeah.
like Texas to not
Very
do
well
that.
could.
So.
Very well could happen. Um, yeah, I like Texas too. All right. Mentioned this one earlier. Tennessee, Florida. I think Tennessee's going to beat Florida by about 7 or 10 points in the swamp.
Hmm. I agree.
I've already told you
Um,
what I think.
yeah, I'll let you get the last part just to kind of give your 2 cents on why you think that. But I think Tennessee's going to win. I heard a good point today. Florida, thought they were dead when they played Kentucky, and they came back and they gave Ole Miss a run for their money. I think they're out. I think they're out of it. Um, Even though they're playing at home and Tennessee hadn't won there since whenever, I think Tennessee is going to get it done this time.
Mm. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah,
D.
I'm taking Florida in this. Hard to play in the swamp, regardless of
Yep.
how good Florida is or how bad Florida is.
Yep.
Um, and man, they look bad against Kentucky, but they gave Ole Miss a run last week. They've got a
Yep.
good defense. They've got a good quarterback. They've got a good running back. I think there's a real chance that they're going to win the game, and I think they do it. I think they pull it off. Make it 22 years.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah. I mean, I think it's going to be a good game, and I think
yeah,
that's what I think it'd be close. Tennessee pulls away by that 7 or 10 margin at the end. I think it's going to be close until the end. Now, Joe Aguilar's got to not turn the ball over. That's a big
Yeah.
thing.
yeah.
Yep.
Don't turn the ball over. You'll be fine, in my opinion. Last game, Kentucky at Vandy. Vandy's playing for a possible spot as an at-large. They got to keep winning to give themselves a shot. No SEC championship possibilities, but they might get an at-large in the playoff. They got to keep winning. Kentucky has shown that they can play teams tight, play them close. Now, this is in Nashville. The over-under, I think, is 8.5. Vandy's the favorite. Do you think, do you take Kentucky plus 8.5? You think Vandy's going to get after them pretty good offensively?
I think Vandy's going to get after pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's up to 9.5 now.
Yeah.
But Kentucky played Texas well at home. They just beat the stew out of Florida at home. Now, granted, they beat Auburn at Auburn, but anybody can do that. I think Vandy, with the circumstances they're under, they're trying to make a statement because with them being 10-2, it's not a surefire thing that they're getting in. Mm-hmm. So I think they need to win convincingly this week, and they got to go beat Tennessee next week. So I think I think this is going to be a 3-touchdown margin.
Wow, it's going to be a beating.
Dang. Yeah, I like Vandy. I don't know about 3 touchdowns, but I could easily see that happening, D. So, but yeah, I like Vandy. I like them to cover the spread. And them at home, I just don't think Kentucky has enough to keep up with.
Yeah, I think Vandy covers too. I think Vandy covers, maybe not by 3 scores, but maybe 2, maybe 14, 12, 14, 16, somewhere in there. Anyway. Well, boys, that is it. That's what we've got. Let me tell you something. We had to fight through some dang adversity, man. Griffin's got the worst Wi-Fi in America. I'm second worst Wi-Fi in America. Mine might be worse because actually you had to cut off,
Hey, in the comments, we need to know who had the best camera throughout the entire podcast. Whose was better? I don't know if mine ever cut out, so I'm interested.
Yeah. Yeah, give us a little feedback. Who was the best? Who was the worst? Who just pissed you off because they kept messing with you? Let us know. We appreciate you. If you stuck around, this has been 2+ hours easily. I don't know exactly what it is because I've been in and out.
1:52.
Oh, really? Not 2 hours?
Minutes. Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Wow, interesting. 1:52. Well, listen. This has been a great show. We've done something new. Griffin jumped in the show late, and we just rolled on. I've had to go in and out because my Wi-Fi has been absolute horse crap, and we've just kept on rolling. So, if you stuck around through this, you're a real college football fan, a real pad level fan, and we appreciate you more than you know. And go tell some more people like yourself to jump in and watch us as well. Listen to it. Listen. If nothing else, you just want to get a little insight on what's going on the weekend, so maybe you look cool in front of your friends, stop by. We're here forever. We're here to help. That's all we're here. We're just informants. We're informants. That's all we're doing. May give you a little bit of a passionate, idea or thought, opinion that we've got, but that's all part of it. If you don't get that, then it's just boring. All right? Listen, I will see you again in a couple days. Bonus episode from the beautiful Kennesaw, Georgia, and I can't wait to be there. Griffin and Dalton will be back with us next week. We're going to start bringing some more guests on here at the end of the season, into the off season, and it's going to be freaking awesome. So come back, tell more people, subscribe, rate, follow, all that stuff we always talk about. It takes 5 seconds, costs you 0 money, and we enjoy it. We want you to be around because we have a great time doing it. So for Griffin, Dalton, and myself, this is Pad Level. Listen, keep your eyes up and low pad level through the weekend. All right, let's keep eyes up, low pad level as we're watching football all day on Saturday and Friday night. So that way, when we get back together, we're all in for. We know what's going on here. We can really get after it. So thank you so much. I love you. God bless.